welcome back to the Choose954 Podcast, episode 72, with native Oakland Park resident, community builder, artist, overall good human being, Angela Rush, at her Art in Oakland Park studios. If you didn't know about Choose954, we started a social movement to cultivate culture and community in Broward County, where we're both proud to be born and raised from, in an effort to keep people in the know with a lot of great things that are going on, make this a better place to live, not just a better place to vacation. And the point of the podcast is to connect you with interesting people like her that do important stuff in the community. So without much further ado, why don't you give us a little high-level overview about Angela Rush and Art in Oakland Park here.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Angela Rush, Art in Oakland Park. And we are in the new studio. We opened at the end of 2021. I have, along with my art and my studio space and working space, we have 13 other artists and makers. I have an author, I have a jewelry maker, I have a seamstress, I have candles, I have everything you can imagine handmade here in the studio by other local artists and makers. And we do all kinds of workshops, bringing in those artists and other local artists to build a little community of makers here in Oakland Park, which we don't really have. We haven't had. So I'm trying to build that up and start some art and culture here in Oakland Park.
Yeah. How did you initially get started in the arts and the cultures?
Many cultures.
Many cultures.
Many cultures. Well, I've always been an artist. I grew up here in Oakland Park and created my whole life. Got on with my life, had a family, worked in the medical field for a long time, and I felt like I wasn't really doing what I was meant to be doing and really helping people, which is what I got into the medical field to do, and it wasn't happening. And I got caught up, and there was a lot of greed and big business in the medical field, and I didn't feel like I was helping anybody really. Felt guilty to go into work every day. So yeah, it happens. So followed my calling and started creating more, and realized that there was a need for others to create and have a space, creative space, to be safe and comfortable and not intimidating. A lot of people get intimidated by the galleries and the art studios, and if you're not comfortable with that, you're not just going to go show up. So I wanted to build something for everybody, all ages, all income levels, everybody to come and be able to create.
Amen.
Yes, thank you.
We need more of that.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your work and your medium?
So, I guess I don't talk enough about my art.
Talk about everybody else's art. Let's talk about your art.
So, this is a piece, a mixed media piece. It has, I like to work with textures. I'm an abstract artist, so I like to work with textures and colors, creating balance and just something interesting, layers and layers of different textures and colors.
Awesome.
Try to create something peaceful and balanced.
Is that glass or is that?
Yeah, it's glass and mirror.
And then acrylic.
Acrylic. There's like I don't even know what to call this. It's like the wrap that you wrap when you have a bandage, like the.
Oh, gauze?
Yeah, it's like a gauze kind of. I don't know what the name of it is.
Interesting.
But that kind of stuff.
Multiple mixed medias.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Got all types of art here.
All types of stuff. I do a lot of fluid art, alcohol ink, resin. Where's my resin stuff?
Yeah.
Resin. All kinds of little functional art things. We're doing a resin class actually this Saturday, because resin is a medium that a lot of people don't like to work with and don't work with. So it's a class that a lot of people want to take, but they're scared to play with it, and it is chemicals, so you have to be careful.
And it's a little messy.
It's a little very messy, but I'm doing it. I have a spray paint class coming up.
Okay.
I have a resin class coming up. We have the Disney Imagineer artists coming to do
Yes, you do.
figure drawing classes. We have jewelry classes that happen regularly. All kinds of things.
And you said before, but safe space. This is industrial warehouse space where you can make art.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to damage the floors. You're not going to damage the walls. We got drop cloths.
Yeah, and we open the back hatch, let the fresh air flow through too when we do like the resin and stuff like that.
So you just touched on a few classes, but what are some other things that people? I know you do so much in the community here. What are some other things that people can engage with you on, either here in the space or in and around the space around the block?
So I am working with a lot of different local businesses doing like collaboration events. With Rebel Wine Bar, we do like a paint and sip every month we're doing. I'm working with a couple of the other local like bars and restaurants, coffee shop hopefully, and trying to get some things going collaboration-wise with other businesses, get everybody supporting each other and keeping it here local. The little area that we have here is growing, and it's all mom and pop shops, local owned businesses, so it's really nice to be able to support each other and have that community. I also started a networking group, like Oakland Park Business networking group that I have on Facebook. It's a small group that I have that we put together, and we're doing our Artist Potluck on Sunday.
That's great.
Yes, we have a group of artists that we used to get together every month and bring a dish and get together and let everybody know what the other has got going on and support each other. We're getting that going again. And
Yes.
Yeah.
This Sunday, March 27th,
Yes.
here at Art in Oakland Park. What's the formal address here?
It's 3478 Northeast 12th Terrace.
So it's a free event. If you haven't been, it's a potluck. You bring something for maybe 6 people or so. Not everybody eats everything. And, you know, I mean, everything she kind of has mentioned up to this point has really had a community building element to it. But within the creative community, within the artist community, there isn't always these safe spaces for artists to create, collaborate, ideate, conversate, all these things that rhyme with eat and eating. And by hosting a potluck, a free event, it brings people into different spaces. We haven't hosted one here yet, so they can maybe get some inspiration, share some ideas, maybe talk about struggles that they're having, and then we kind of have everybody go around the table, introduce themselves, share a little bit, share what they're working on, and then from there, make friends.
I've made so many friends. I mean, like through just knowing you, the time period that I've known you, like through your community and your circle of people, I have so many friends that I never probably would have met.
Heather.
Yeah, Heather.
Love Heather.
Yeah, and just to have that community of people in a non-intimidating, because it gets intimidating. You walk into a room full of people you don't know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I get nervous. I feel intimidated as a newbie or as somebody who's not part of the scene that they are a part of. So it's really nice. It's very inclusive. Everyone is welcome. And you feel that, when you walk in, you can tell that everybody is welcome. So as far as the potluck and here in general, that's what I would love to be able to facilitate.
Amen. And while Oakland Park, thankfully, is very mom and pop driven, a lot of independent small businesses, traditionally there hasn't been so much art in Oakland Park over our lifetimes.
Right.
But thankfully now, with your efforts mainly, and Mayor Jane Boland's efforts and other people's former mayor now, yeah.
But the whole commission is great. The whole commission and the support from the city has been good. And trying to build it up and get there, and there's a lot of growth that's going to be happening. So, and they will continue to help support us and have different events going and be known more as like a destination than just passing through. People don't really know Oakland Park. They just know on your way from downtown to Pompano, or it's just that Funky Buddha, which thankfully for Funky Buddha,
put Oakland Park on the map.
I know, seriously. But I grew up here. Like, this is my street. My mom still lives on this street right behind the studio. So this is my hood, and this is where I've been my whole life pretty much. So to be able to be back here and try to create something, worthwhile for our community and for our artists and for our community members and our neighbors here is really important.
And and it really is working. Angela was previously in the Zero Empty Spaces location we had right pretty much next to City Hall, right next to the Butcher's Barrel, where really wasn't much art before then.
Right.
And thankfully we were able to help contribute to supporting Butcher's Barrel around the time they were opening, getting some traffic and eyeballs out there. Now there's Hot Spots Gallery with Dennis Dean.
Hot Spots, yep. And Dennis Dean opened his gallery there.
And other artists in and around the downtown Oakland Park area.
It feels weird to call it downtown. I have to do this every time, but it is, and it's growing.
It is, and if you would maybe care to share a little bit about some of the developments at a high level that were just kind of announced to the public last night.
Yeah, so a lot of developments are happening, and a lot of them are still in the works and not totally definite and decided on. There are definitely going to be buildings across Dixie Highway from Funky Buddha, Sky Buildings. It's going to be 2 large buildings with retail, residences, parking. The government buildings are going to be there. Currently, the City Hall is located in a building here in downtown Oakland Park, and also the other government works building is down on Dixie. So they're going to combine everything and have all the city works in that building, in those new buildings. And then also there's a development happening on this side where the City Hall is currently located. There's, acres. There's a huge property where the Greenleaf Park, Oakland Park Library, the rec center, the Oakland Park Rec Center, the City Hall, and then there's a church behind that as well that I think is going to be part of that acquisition. There's going to be new retail, pretty much the same as the other, but retail, I think like community spaces also, where it's going to be like rooftop event space, where you can rent out space. And retail parking, residences, with still keeping like the green space, and the swales are going to be like, I forgot what she called it now, but green space in the swales, and to make sure everything works together, eco-friendly. And there's also going to be down 38, West 38, where the fire station is, and Collins Community Center, and the parks that are there. There's a soccer field and tennis courts and basketball. That's all going to be redone also. Okay. We didn't even talk about that. It's going to be park space. There's going to be like a, amphitheater, but like a, a space for people to perform. There's talks about like for 12th Ave, back to this side, 12th Ave to be shut down for events. So it's going to be traffic, but it's going to be able to be shut down for events also, for vendor events. And then back to the park, there's going to be like splash pad, new playground, all kinds of things for the kids.
Yeah.
The new library.
Big kids too.
Big kids too. The new library is going to be there, new community center. It's going to be a lot of new things happening over the next few years.
The renderings all look great.
Yeah.
It's a huge project, which thankfully nobody, at least from what I've seen, initially on social media, nobody's really poo-pooing it, which unfortunately there's been a lot of poo-pooing new development projects. Development isn't always bad, and thankfully there is an emphasis on supporting the local independent businesses, keeping it reasonable and affordable, and still keeping that charm to Oakland Park as a suburb.
Right, so, and to still feel with a small town feel. Even though it is going to be growing, it is going to be downtown and more city. It's still going to have that small town feel, which is so important to so many of us that have grown up here.
It is.
It is.
And we're excited that with the new development and bringing in new people, the idea is, and obviously we all know a lot of people are moving to South Florida. hopefully there's a trickle-down effect to supporting the local artists, arts organizations, the creative community, from these people that are coming from all over places, New York, LA, Chicago, that are used to having arts and culture and art spaces in their communities where they would go to support. It really is important that we support our longtime artists and cultural community builders like yourself here. And we give you a lot of credit and kudos for having a lot of these artists here. I will like to turn the camera around maybe so we could just show them some more of the space here, and then maybe just tell us a little bit more about some of the really cool workshops that you have going on.
All right, right on.
So tell us a little bit about who we got here at Art in Oakland Park.
So I have 13 artists. Some of them I've known since we were 5 years old. Some I met in high school, and some I just recently met through Erin and Zero Empty Spaces. I have a children's book author, candles, soaps, some woodworking birdhouses, and desks. Should I go through and name the artists?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So I have Diego, I have Todd, I have Mimi, I have Mel Art, I have Mike, I have Amanda Anthony, she does the dog pet portrait stuff, Mel Art again, Joe Bonanella, I have jewelry by Vilestones, this is more Amanda Anthony and more Vilestones and more Mel Art. She's a seamstress and her dad does the woodworking, so we have all kinds of things that she made. And then I have Laurel, I have Crystal, I have Paula does stained glass, amazing creations, and I have Hey Hot Stuff does these cute little wine charms that we have here. And then I have dream catchers and other things made by Sabrina, Sabrina D, and all kinds of anything you could possibly imagine.
That's a lot of art in Oakland Park here. You got a couple other cool things you just touched on briefly, but would you care to tell us about the one of the exciting workshops that you're excited about coming up?
So, along with lots of things coming up, I have a resin class this weekend. We have tonight, but by the time this goes up, it's going to be over. The Paint and Sip at Rebel. I have a Disney Imagineer artist coming. He does figure drawing class here once a month, usually. April 16th, he'll be here. For any artists that see this that want to work on their figure drawing skills, it's an awesome class. He's really, really talented, and he's a really, really nice, great human. And then we have our potluck on the 27th on Sunday. I can't believe March is almost over already. We have our potluck. Everyone is welcome. Please come by. We can share stories and find out what's going on in your world. And then I have spray paint class happening with Marcos.
Condi?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, on April 30th. He's
awesome.
coming. Yeah, we'll do some spray paint in the back alley back there.
If they want to find out more, where can they log on to?
So I'm Art in Oakland Park, all around, artinoaklandpark.com, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, TikTok. Not really, I don't really do too much.
That's all right.
Art in Oakland Park, anywhere you can find me.
All right. Well, we hope you guys will join us this weekend for the potluck. Tons of great art, tons of great artists. Angel is a great human being. We're very glad to support and continue building community here in Oakland Park and Broward County.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.